coming. I'm filming. So I'm down here at Piedmont Park for the GA 5051 protest, the second one I went to, and I'm down here basically to see what's going on with the people, how they feel. So I found some folks here. So what's your name and where you from?
I'm Jewel Berry, and this is my daughter Lainey.
Hi.
We are from Cordele.
Cordele, where's that at?
About halfway between here and Florida. It's about 3.5 hours away.
So y'all drove up here for? Wow, I thought y'all was just maybe in the area.
No, we drove all the way here from
My side's
Cordele.
blown away.
I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I could be here.
So I feel that you're really, really passionate. So am I. I'm trying to get more people involved in these protests. So why are you down here? What are you passionate about in this moment?
I mean, it really comes down to one thing for me. Like, my grandmother was born and raised in Nazi Germany. Like,
Wow.
she raised me. And when she died, like, she was like 9 when the war happened.
Okay.
So her mind, when they always talk about old people, they go back to their childhood.
Right.
Imagine what that was like for her.
Scary.
So, like, I grew up listening to those stories of her friends just vanishing in school.
Right.
Like, I lived with a homeless migrant. Like, I adopted him, and he lived with me for 9 years. Like, Edgar was the poster child of a migrant farmer.
Thank you for that too. You know what I'm saying? People like good-hearted people that like take people in. We need more of that.
No, I promise you. Like, he was better for me than I could ever have been for you. Like, that man changed my life. He made me something better.
Nice.
Like, it, and that's why I'm here. Like, he died in 2019, and if he were still here, I would be terrified to even let that man leave my house. I'm
True.
terrified to let her leave my house. My grandmother didn't leave Nazi rule, so my children have to fight the Nazi fools.
I feel you.
Like, that's it. And I grew up knowing who is important. I know that these people are our lifelines. Like, they are what built this country. And for us to turn our backs on that is unacceptable.
And how about you? What are you passionate about along, you know what I'm saying, with your mother, her sentiments?
I am the DEI hire.
Okay.
I'm deaf, I'm disabled. I've been turned away from jobs simply because I couldn't hear what they said their name was.
Wow, sorry.
I've been hired and not been put on the schedule. And I need a job.
I get it. I get it.
No other way in the world.
These are real people, folks. These are real people that's out in the street that's really going through things. You feel me? And I was wondering, like, it's crazy that we even got to this point. How do you think we even got to this point where the country has gotten like this divided?
I honestly think, like, it started back in 2016 when people decided that the behavior that we saw in a presidential elect was acceptable.
Right.
Then that was the beginning of the end. Like, it was the same thing. Like I said, my grandmother told me about it. Like, you don't be a good German. And that's what happened. Like, people decided to go along with it, and he gave a voice to the bigotry. He made it okay he made hate okay again.
I remember I was at my job and I was like, suddenly I feel like racism and racists are a lot more comfortable these days. And the guy at work was like, nah, it's the same. I was like, nah, I'm outside doing a lot of stuff like this all over Georgia. It's different.
My stepdad, he adopted me when I was 13 years old. I was the only white child in my family. So, like, again, like, I grew up seeing what it was like, and now I see what it is like. And it was bad enough then.
Right.
Like, you know, like, it was never good, and now we're talking, like, it's so much worse. Like, my family is afraid to let their kids walk down the streets. Like, and as soon as that was a problem, like, I was out here with the Black Lives Matter too.
Yeah, right.
Like, so, I mean, this is not acceptable.
It's really not. So I think these protests are really good. I feel like all we have. All we have is our voice and our dollar. What would you say to people that, even you, what would you say to the people that's sitting back and like not coming out and joining the protests? Like, what would you say to get them motivated?
Get up and do it. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but get off your ass.
There you go. Get off your ass.
No, like, I'm disabled. She's disabled. I drove
passed out
4
about
hours.
halfway up here.
Like, I drove 4 hours to be here. I brought my service dog in case I had a heart attack. Like,
Wow.
like if I can do it, they need to do it. This should not be my job.
Exactly. I
Like,
feel
this
this.
should not be her job. She's a child.
Right.
Like, she's a literal child. Why is she having to fight for this? Where are the adults in the room?
Well, all we can do is just hope for the best, keep protesting. Hopefully, like, I see this one is a little bit more fuller, a little bit than Saturday I did. So we just got to keep getting the word out. And I want to just encourage people, like, we have power. We can do our dollar economic blackouts and we can just protest, but we got to all do it together. I feel like the middle class is getting crushed. We've been getting crushed for a while now. You feel me? I know my bills is too much. So
Like, they separated us into little groups, and until we find our collective, it's never going to work. Because if there's 3 of them and 100 of them and 3 of us, how is that going to help? But
Right.
there aren't 3 of us. There are thousands,
millions of.
there are millions of us. Why are we out here fighting alone?
There you have it. Appreciate it.
Ants.
Oh, you-
The movie Ants from one of the first Pixar movies. The grasshoppers are doing the big speech. And They're
Right.
talking about the ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever know that, they will take over.
That's where we at. You know what I'm saying?
To take over.
The power's going back to the people. That's what it is. So we still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest, and I'm with the people trying to see how they feel. You feel me? So I got somebody here. What's your name and where you from?
Hi, my name is Ivory. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I've been in Atlanta for 8 years.
Nice, North Carolina. Oh, you been here 8 years? Okay, yeah, you've been with us through a lot of stuff. So I really want to know in this moment, though, exactly why you down here and what are you really passionate about in this moment?
So I have a lot of friends and coworkers who are queer, who are trans. I'm queer. And the dismantling, the amount of work that they already had to put in to get their IDs to say the right gender, to have access to the medicines that they need, to have all of that looked at and said, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, you don't count, or you're not important enough for us to care about. You know, like the smallest percentage of our population is trans.
Yeah,
And-
like less than like 1% of the total population?
Yes. And these are the people that you're trying to make laws against to negatively impact them for what? Like, who are you actually helping in that scenario? Like, who are you actually hurting in that scenario?
I personally always thought that was like a non-issue. I feel like we had way bigger problems than the 1%. Like, and it's like they stuck on that and made it like a bigger thing.
Exactly.
I'm like, we have stuff that's way more bigger than the 1%. Like, y'all doing y'all thing, just I feel like just let everybody live and do what they got to do. You know
Right.
what I mean? So,
Exactly. And the other reason I'm out here, I work for an organization. Our goal is to promote prevention work. So prevention is basically preventing people from getting addicted to drugs, preventing people from getting like into terrible situations out on the streets. And yeah, and a lot of our funding got cut when they because we're federally, a lot of our stuff was federally funded. We were hired by federally funded programs. So with that being said, the only stuff that's active right now was state-funded programs. All of the federally funded programs were cut, or at the very least have been paused since they put the pause basically on the funds. And that's negatively impacted so many programs that were really helpful to youth. There was one program that's based out in Ohio, but we had some inner city kids who were in very dangerous situations. So we went into the schools and we asked them what they needed. They said they needed money to help their parents pay bills. We started paying them to come to school. They said they needed jobs after they graduated. We started training them in the field of prevention, so as soon as they could graduate, they can go to work. And we know who they are. You already got connections. We started teaching them first aid because a lot of times when there were drive-bys and stuff happening, the paramedics would take an hour to get there. And by then, whoever got shot is dead. We had a drive-by happen. One student got shot. 2 of our kids who we had trained in first aid was there. Saved the child's life. Saved the child's life, but that funding got cut.
and this is the type of funding that's getting cut. Like people out here like her really doing like the real work, really helping the community. Some people online just talking, but she's out here really helping the community, and I appreciate that. But I'll let you finish.
I mean, that's it. That's it. It doesn't make sense to me that that's where the money needs to be cut. It doesn't make sense to me that that's what people are like. Oh, that's not justifiable. That's not something that needs to happen. Kids are dying for no reason. They're not safe and secure. They don't have money for their own lunches at school. Like, it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, you know?
Make it make sense. So, I mean, how do you think we even got here as a country where we're so divided, where we're just, everybody's in separate groups attacking each other? And how we get here, and how do you think we can get back to where everybody's just living a life and we can just exist as all just Americans?
Honestly, I don't know that we ever were not here. I think that, yes, we've grown as a country. Yes, we've changed. But, like, we're a country based in slavery. We're a country based in separation. The only reason that you have to pay to go to college is because they didn't want black people to be able to go to college. It was free before the 40s. But because black people became free and had the right to go to school, they started charging people. That's why in other countries college is free, and here you have to pay for it. None of this is simple. You know, there's things stacked on top of things, and it's not a one size fits all answer.
A layered problem, a layered issue,
right?
Many different moving parts and facets.
And I think the thing that's going to help fix it is being honest and looking at every section of it. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, racism doesn't exist anymore. That was 50 years ago. That was 60 years ago. That is highly untrue. All of our laws are based in racism. All, if not most, you know? And with that understanding, there is no reality where we're going to be at peace and everybody's going to be treated the same until we acknowledge the truth of our past. That is what has to happen, and teach that to the youth, you know?
I was saying the same thing about, even though I did vote for Joe Biden, I was saying he should have at least acknowledged the crime bills. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge that it was wrong for our community. Say something about it, apologize. But when you just keep on going about your life like you ain't do something crazy, then the problem just stays. And I don't know. So for what you're saying, it sounds like the problem is just ingrained in this country.
Yes.
And it's probably not going to really get the way we want it to be.
Not until we're willing to tell the truth and accept that that's the truth. Because we're so busy trying to fight against it. Oh, I'm not racist. Oh, I'm not da-da-da-da-da. I remember I took one of my podcasts that I run for the prevention organization. We had a therapist come on and she was explaining biases. You know, we all have biases. So we attached a little quiz that people could take, and I took it. I had biases against fat people. I had fat phobia. Like, that was just part of like how I was raised, exactly. You know? And I really never thought about that until I sat back and looked at my score, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I can't, like, and that's with me doing the work that I do, you know? Like, I didn't even realize it was like that, you know? So we have to sit down and be honest.
Yeah, you was honest with yourself in that moment. You
right.
Looked at yourself and took accountability. I like that.
Yeah, and be willing to accept it. We're like, you know what? That's fucked up. I did fuck up. What can I do to be better? When people come to me and they say, Ivory, you hurt me. I'm sorry, what did I do? Yeah. Let me understand. Right. Let me understand what happened. And let's talk about it. Let's grow through it. Let's change so we can be better people. You know what I mean? It's not about, oh, let me protect my self-image of me because I'm unwilling to accept that I hurt somebody. Exactly. It's about how can we heal together and how can we grow together. That's what's important.
Hey, you heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? This is a person that's really doing real work in the community. You feel me? And y'all, the system is affecting what she's trying to do and she needs to do. You know what I'm saying? We need more people like this at these rallies. So what would you say to encourage people to come out to these rallies? Like, everybody's sitting back online talking, but you out here actually doing a lot of work. What would you say to the people, like, to get them out?
What I would say is everybody doesn't have to be at a rally, first off. Not everybody can. Some people got kids, some people have disabilities, some people got people they need to feed. Yeah, jobs. But just do one thing. Just start with one thing. If that is finding your politicians' numbers and calling them, if it's finding an email and sending an email once a week, something that can take 10 minutes from your day. Start there. It doesn't have to be let me change my whole life. I'll never buy from Walmart and Whole Foods or Amazon ever again. You know, it's kind of ingrained into how we exist right now. Slowly make take small steps. You don't have to change everything all at once. For people that have the financial availability and the time, get your ass out here. I don't got no kind words for you. You need to bring your ass out here. There's no reason for you to not be out here because this will affect you eventually. Even if your money is good right now, it's about to not be. Because what's going to happen is these tariffs, these laws are going to change. These tariffs are going to hit you in a way that you didn't expect. And just because you don't work for the federal government and just because you don't necessarily think that this shit has anything to do with you, it absolutely does, and it absolutely will in the future. Even if it's not today, it's going to happen. So if you have the time and the availability and the access and the money, come out, help, protest, support, donate money, because these organizations, they don't have a lot of money, most of them. Donating money, if you can't physically come out here and you have money, donate it. That's completely acceptable. But don't pretend like the people you love and you yourself are not going to be affected by this eventually if you have the space and availability to do something about it. Do it now before you don't have the availability to do anything about it.
Appreciate that. That was a very, very powerful message.
The next gathering is going to be March 15th here. Yeah, Michelle just reminded me. So come out March 15th.
Appreciate it. That was a good message. You was the right person to talk to.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So we still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest. I'm down here with the people, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody here. What's your name and where you from?
My name is William McFarland III, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice. So I was going to ask you, like, why exactly are you down here? And in this moment, what are you passionate about?
I'm born and raised from Atlanta, and I'm passionate about helping more people. Right now, I'm a CNA, and I'm planning on getting my art degree. And right now,
nice.
I'm planning on just help people right now.
Okay. What do you think about the protests and everything that's going on? What's your thoughts on everything?
My thoughts, I mean, it's fine for their rights. It's fine what's going on. It isn't right for other people, because right now, what Trump doing right now for other people is really going into chaos, and Trump should make the world a better place instead of just making things more hard for other people about their sexuality and about themselves in general.
Yeah, it's making people be scared to be themselves. I just interviewed a girl over there. She was a white girl. She said she's a DEI because she's partially blind and she's deaf. So her job is basically acting like, you know what I'm saying, they can't hire her. You know what I'm saying? And she's like a teenager trying to get a job. Shit like that is really going through, like, it's happening.
Right now, cause my parents are deaf, my mom and dad are deaf, and just to hear that, like, I don't appreciate that, because people with disabilities should always have a fighting chance in life. Just know that they want to make things right for themselves. You know, like, it's part of living. You can have any type of disability in life, but you still have to fight for your way and just make it through life.
Exactly. So I also feel like it's like the rich people's kind of crushing us, the middle class. You feel me? I feel like our bills is too high. They up there getting richer and richer, and we down here struggling. Like, do you think the country will ever come back together?
That's a hard question. I mean,
we got to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Because if it's not, we going to either have to just deal with it or leave. You feel me? So what you think it's possible that through these protests we get everybody back on the same page?
I mean, we should 100%, because right now other people out here, even the rich people, shouldn't be trying to look down on poor people. Because
exactly,
we should always stepping up. We trying our best and making it life. It's not easy. It's really not easy.
Hard as hell.
Really hard. Like God never said life is gonna be easy. We gotta make it easy.
Yeah, you feel me? So what would you say to people that's sitting on the sidelines? They not out here protesting. They want to, but they kind of shy or whatever. What would you tell people that's kind of shy and they not getting out here and making their voice heard?
Then they come out of their shell and just know that, like, even though you have a mouth to be heard, we need to be heard. Just don't be scared to express it. Just
exactly.
Come on. Like, nothing wrong with it. Just express yourself.
And what else would you like to see going forward? Like, what would really make you happy in this moment? What would help your life out?
I'll be happy if the world be a better place. Just no more chaos. We all just help out how it was back in the day and just help each other. Like, you see somebody get back on their feet. Nothing wrong with that. Just be a helpful person.
So you saying like more empathy, act like people care about other people more. You know what I'm saying? Start caring about your fellow man more. That's what you're saying?
Right.
I get it. Well, that's real. You feel me? I appreciate that, bro.
Thanks so much.
So yeah, we still down there at the Georgia 5051 protest. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody else here. I'm talking to the people, just trying to figure out what everybody's feeling. You know what I'm saying? Letting their voice be heard. So I was going to ask you, what's your name and where you from?
Yeah, my name is Hugo. I'm actually originally from South America. I'm from Venezuela. That's partially why I'm here. My family escaped the dictatorship down there in Venezuela in 2010, and that's the reason that we left our country. That's the reason that my family got separated, and we cannot allow for that to happen here.
Okay, so I want you to just explain in just slight detail why you're down here and exactly what are you really passionate about in this moment.
Absolutely. There is so many things. I think that's why this is such a big movement. There is so many aspects that are being questioned or that are being changed. For example, I'm gay. I'm happily married, but I was able to get married last year, and that is something that we see in the future. That is the next step that they're going to take. It's already in the works. It's been in the works since 2022 when they. Overturned Roe v. Wade. Clarence Thomas made actually a concurrent opinion calling for the revisit of Obergefell, which gave us the right for gay marriage. We already see it happening. They're trying to bounce this back to the States. But I'm also Latino, so I can see all of this rhetoric that they're saying, that they're spewing, saying that Latinos are just are just illegals, that we don't contribute, when in reality there are billions and even trillions of dollars that we contribute as a society. Even the people that are technically illegal are a huge portion of the workforce in the United States, in farming and construction and anything.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
go
why we're
ahead.
here. That's why we're here. No, and then on top of that, then we see all this what they call floating the sun, which is so many things that are happening at once, and they're trying to distract us from the main thing is that they're trying to install themselves in all levels of government. So we can't do anything about this, and we cannot allow this to continue or even happen.
That's exactly right. That's why I told people when it first popped off, I put out a video saying like it's time to start fighting now because they are already in motion. Like we can't just like let's see where it goes. Let's see what happened. No, no, it's already in motion. You're supposed to start fighting like in January. Like it's been going. You feel me? So how do you think we even got to this point? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking everybody was cool. Everybody was chilling. Gay people was doing them. I was fine with that. Trans people doing them. I'm fine with that. We're living our life. How do we even get to a point where we're going like backwards?
This is a very, very deep question. It actually began in 1980s when Ronald Reagan got in power. He actually worked with evangelists to establish the movement towards a more conservative and Christian-like society. Nothing against Christians. I know exceptionally good Christians that actually follow the word of the Bible
Right.
to a point in which it's about the people, about
Me too.
empowering. Yes, but there is this other movement that started with the evangelists in which they want to what's now Christian nationalism. It's a very intricate movement that has come from generations and that has rooted in our country, and it needs to be rooted out because this is why we're here. We're here because they elected someone, a con man that has made his life out of conning people to get to the highest office in the land, conning these people thinking that he's a Christian, that he cares about anybody. He don't cares about anybody. The only thing Donald Trump cares about is himself. That's why he is selling the United States of America to the highest bidder, which is Vladimir Putin.
And that's just facts. You feel me? And the thing is, like a lot of billionaires don't really care about the small people. A lot of these billionaires actually could pay their workers a lot more, but they just hog it. Even though you can't spend like $50 million in one lifetime, you'll die before you can spend it. They still won't give it to the workers. You feel me? Like
Absolutely.
It's crazy. So with that being said, like what would you say to people out here just online, just talking and not coming out? What would you say to get them motivated to actually come out to the protest, make their voice heard in a real way? What would you say to them?
Absolutely, and I think it's. I understand that everyone has jobs, everyone has responsibilities, and sometimes we can see coming out here as jeopardizing those responsibilities. But it's also a responsibility to enforce our civil duty to protest to the things that are happening. You will not have the quality of life that you have right now, the responsibilities that you have right now. You will not be able to meet those responsibilities if we fall into what Donald Trump wants for this country. So it's also a responsibility, just like anything else, for you to be out here, for you to express your opinion, to voice your anger, because you should be angry that we're here.
Real talk, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna make sure this on YouTube probably about Saturday and Sunday. But you spit a lot of words of encouragement, you dropped a lot of real facts, and I appreciate you being out here. You feel me? I'm in the fight with you. You feel me?
I appreciate you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
We'll
that's
keep
why I'm out here.
fighting. We'll keep fighting.
Keep fighting.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Good luck. So I'm still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest. I have someone here. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Bree. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay, so why are you down here? What are you passionate about in this moment? What are your issues?
I think some of the biggest issues right now, have to do with women, children, obviously, LGBTQ, gay rights. You shouldn't have to, be punished just for being who you are and being a person. And, we've been here forever. We're gonna stand the test of time, and we need support, and we have to support people around us. We have to support the people who, are being discriminated against, who don't have the voice, and, stay united and really, come together and be a community in times like this.
As a woman, how do you feel like just walking around now in the world? Like, do you feel less safe? Like, what are you actually feeling as this stuff is unfolding?
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. I think you have to have that balance. There's a lot of scary stuff that's happening in the news, and, I think it depends where you are. You have to stay vigilant and stay aware. I mean, I always carry protection things with me. I have a rape whistle. I have a knife that I have to carry constantly. I've never had to use them, but unfortunately that is the world we live in. Just for being a single female, riding my bike every day, I have to protect myself.
Okay, and I appreciate you saying that you're fighting for other people. What gave you the energy to fight for like the immigrants or the DEI hires or the other people losing rights that you might not even know them personally, but you're still fighting them? What gave you that will?
I think a big part for me is I've traveled a lot. I've been fortunate enough to see like a lot of parts of Europe, Australia, different parts of the States, and you just realize like you have to do what you can. There's good people everywhere, and I think that's more important than talking about like all the hate and all the evil. We have to just come together and really stay united and be there for each other. And the more people that do that, the more people get the memo, and we'll hopefully just keep it going.
And that's exactly why I'm out here. I'm trying to get more people to come to these protests. This is my second protest, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of other stuff to do, but this is more important. I got a family, I got kids, I got to go to work, but I took time out to do this twice. So what would you say to the people that staying home, not coming, they're just online talking and not showing up? What would you say to get them motivated?
Just believe in yourself. This is my first protest. My friends have been here, multiple times. They got me involved. All it takes is a quick text. I wasn't doing anything today. You have an hour for lunch break. You have 30 minutes. Just come. You don't have to make a sign. It takes 5 seconds. If you want to just write, a little memo on a piece of paper, you can walk here, ride your bike. We're everywhere. So yeah, all it takes is a quick text, and maybe you're thinking, oh, I don't have anyone that will come with me. You never know until you invite somebody, and I guarantee they're going to say, yes, I'll come and support.
And this is a real community. Like, I came down here by myself Saturday, and my assistant canceled, but I had people helping me that I didn't even know. So yeah. You'll find community down here. If you just come by yourself, you can tag along, and then everybody going to embrace you, and we all fighting for the same cause. So I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me. Stay vigilant.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to have it up by Sunday at the latest.
Yeah, what's your name? Or how can I find you?
Here we go.
Oh, perfect.
That YouTube channel, Sunday at the latest. I'm gonna try to get it up by Saturday, but if not Sunday, it'll be up there. Your video along with others. And I'm gonna put captions on it so deaf people can read what you said.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the word out. I'm trying to get the word out.
I love it.
Appreciate it. Okay, I'm still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest. I got some people here. So what's your name and where you from?
I'm Xavier Groom, and I'm from Georgia.
I'm Kelsey. I'm from Georgia.
Nice. So it's a lot of issues. A lot of people I've been talking to, they're upset about a lot of different things. In this moment, what are you really passionate about? Like, what are you fighting for?
I'm fighting for against the coup of the billionaire party. Like, I don't want to be looking 10, 15, 20 years down the line and be able to say that I sat down and did nothing.
Me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, so that's really what I'm fighting for.
And what about you?
I mean, same thing. I'm also fighting for my right to have control over my own body. It's being taken away bit by bit right now, and I feel like at the point we are now, it's only going to get worse, and it's only going to get more volatile for me to exist as a human. So,
and I see it's a lot of people divided because of these issues. It divided the country. Do you think the country can ever get back on the same page?
Well, that's why my primary focus is against the billionaire party. Like they want to separate us. They don't want, minorities to feel like they have power. Like people of color, transgender trans, LGBT, like everybody. We all need to stand together against them, the 1%. Like there's more of us than there are of them. We can't let them be in control.
Exactly.
And what about you? Do you feel like we can ever get back on the same page? And what can we do to even get the proper steps to make us get back on the same page?
I think at this point we're starting to see that we're being separated, but there are some people who are starting to see that they've been deceived, and by the billionaires, by the rich of the world, by the 1%. And once we get over there, once we are able to come back together and realize that we're being controlled by them, that's when things will start to get better.
So in closing, like, what would y'all say to the people that's not showing up like y'all did? Like, y'all took the time to come over here. You feel me? Some people just online, just typing, but that's really not doing nothing. What would y'all say, starting with you, what would y'all say to get more people to show up?
We need to see you.
Yeah.
We need to have you here. We need to have the people show that we are the masses. We need to be able to show our Congress people, our other, our other Georgians that we are here, we are out, and we are ready to fight for our rights.
Yeah.
And there's definitely more people out here there's more people online making a noise than actually out here. Because I think Kamala got like 74 million votes, something like that. And it's only like maybe, 500 people down here? Yeah. So I'm like, a lot more people know about it and they are against it, but they're just not showing up.
I think with this movement being so new, this organization has been pretty good so far. I think with 5051 being so new, we need to have a little bit more exposure and a little bit more confidence in the movement before we can have more people come. And I want to show the confidence in the movement, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, got you. Let me turn this off real quick. And the last question, how did y'all even hear about this movement?
I heard about it through Reddit. I'm involved in a lot of like anti-consumerism, environmental sustainability subreddits. So like I heard about that, and I am sick of the world as it is, and I'm trying to do my part to make it a little bit better.
Yeah, same here. I heard it from him. He saw it on Reddit, and I've always been in kind of those spaces that are more liberal. So when this movement first came out, he saw it and he told it to me, and we, started protesting with 5051.
Nice. Well, I appreciate both of y'all's support. You feel me? I'm glad to see y'all down here. The more people, the better. And like, keep on fighting, keep on spreading the word. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it a little bit. Y'all come a little bit closer this way. A little bit closer. There you go. A little closer this way. Okay, now we look good. Okay, I'm still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest. I got some people here. What's your name and where you from?
I'm Kathy, and I live in Woodstock, Georgia.
And you?
Shari, and I also in Woodstock, Georgia.
Nice. I get out there sometimes, but not too often. How is it out there in Woodstock?
Getting full.
Oh, a lot of people coming?
Yeah.
Do y'all got low rent or something?
No.
I'm about to say, because I'm looking for the places with the low rent. It's getting crazy out here. But I want to ask you guys, in this moment, I want to know why you're down here and what you're passionate about. Like, what are you fighting for? Start with you.
Freedom, and not this. To stop a coup. Any of this is, that's why.
What about you?
I came out here because I don't know why everybody's not out here. I think there should be millions of people in the street. This guy is trying to take down our whole government and our way of living, and I'm not down with it.
Yeah.
So, and my congressperson, Barry Loudermilk, is in hiding. He's in hiding. So, I do my thing. I call my senators, Warnock and Ossoff, and I don't even always agree with them, but I call them, and Barry Loudermilk, he's never available, and I just feel like I said, when millions of people start in the streets, something will change. So it's a start.
And what affects you the most? Like, out of all the things that's going on, what is really hurting you the most to see? Out of all, it's a lot of stuff that's been taken away from a lot of different people, but what affects directly for you is like something you're very passionate about.
The end of democracy. Nothing gets fixed if we don't have democracy, and I'm fairly confident they're not going to let midterm elections happen.
Wow.
So, they didn't go to all this trouble and all these years of work to have the House flip and stop them. So I have different ideas of what they'll do, but I would bet the farm that there will not be an election. If we can't get them out sooner, then there won't be a midterm election.
And you, what's the main thing that's really got you emotional in this situation?
just the democracy of it. You know, it's not affecting me personally. I'm not on Social Security, I'm not on Medicaid, I'm not on Medicare, but it's going to affect somebody that is, you know?
That's good that you said that, because a lot of people sit back, well, I'm still fine, so I don't got to fight.
Yeah, no,
But-
I'm fine. And no, I have a kid. I mean, he's 26. He wants a future. It's not a huge future. He didn't want to be famous and rich. He just wants to be a good person and a good husband and father and have a decent career. And these people are fucking that. And they don't get to.
The whole time they're getting richer while we're being crushed with rent prices and grocery prices. I got a family to feed, you know what I'm saying? I got kids.
That's not a bug. That is the feature, because between the fascism is also the religious Christian nationalist leg. Yeah, it's all hideous. I mean, I'm Jewish. I can't imagine that they're going to be fond of me, and I don't practice. I'm a freaking pagan. But it won't matter, you know.
The cruelty is the point.
Yes.
The cruelty is the point. Getting rid of the Department of Education, who thinks that's a good idea? Or, you know, or the Department of Justice, or the CIA or the FBI. The whole point of it is to give the rich people more tax cuts. They already gave them tax cuts, which weren't funded the first time. So now
they're $4 trillion to the debt, and these idiots who vote for him think he's fiscally responsible because they listen to garbage.
Right. And the veterans, come on now.
Yeah.
I have a friend that got the email, and you know, she's not going to have a job because she's not doing it. She's not answering to Elon Musk for her job.
No.
So.
And it's a girl I interviewed. She's right there. She's a deaf girl, and she said she can't get a job now because they don't do DEI hiring.
Right. DEI is diversity, equality, and inclusive, right? What is wrong with that?
Why would you take that away?
When some
is in a wheelchair.
right, when somebody says DEI, you need to say the words out loud to them and ask them what's wrong with it, because there is nothing wrong with it.
But they oh God, don't even get me started.
So where the country is now, do you think we can ever get the country back together? Or what does it take? Like you said, just a massive amount of people in the streets.
Yes. I've been to the protests in D.C., the Women's March, the Families Belong Together, the guns, you know, with the kids. We went to all of them, and it's great, but it's just not enough. Nothing's happened.
True.
So, you know, it's the Republicans. I'm sorry to say, but it just is.
It
you
is.
know?
But I would like to see Europe and the EU really tax the fuck out of these billionaires and break up their companies.
And you know what's crazy to me? I always thought about it. You really can't even spend like $10 million in a lifetime. So they're hoarding a lot of money that they can't even spend. They're going to die before they can spend it. They won't give it to the workers. Like, why?
I always ask my husband, how much money is enough? How much money is enough? It just, no. I don't understand that. So, you know, I'm not.
Because they're sick. No, but they're sick. These are sick people. There's nothing, you know, decent about them. They're all about the ends justify the means, and that's sociopathy. So they just don't care.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that both of y'all out here is actually using y'all voice, and y'all inspiring people that just like y'all to come out. What would y'all tell the people that's online just typing but not showing up to the protest? What would y'all tell them?
Postcards. If you can't come, send postcards, make phone calls, send emails, send faxes, because that annoys the hell out of them.
We just met each other today. We
didn't come here together.
We were walking out of the garage, and she saw me, and I was alone, and she was alone, and we were just both so happened to be from Woodstock. So.
Nice. That goes to show you can just come by yourself. You'll meet somebody. A lot of people said they don't want to come by themselves.
Yeah, we did not come together. We just met here.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be friends now. So.
Yes.
That's dope. Find some like-minded, and then like you got to find people that's like you, like-minded people, your tribe. If you come by yourself, you'll find somebody that you can talk to. So please come out.
They're out there. Find your people. They're out there.
Appreciate y'all. So I'm still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest. It's going pretty well. A lot of people been telling me their opinions, like how they feel. A lot of people are frustrated and they're trying to get more people to come out, so I can have somebody else here. What's your name and where you from?
I'm Jamie, and I am from Lilburn. I'm from South Georgia originally, but I live up in the Atlanta area now.
Nice, Lilburn. So in this moment, I want to know what brought you down here. Like, why are you down here, and what are you fighting for? Like, what are you really passionate about?
Okay, I have actually not been very political politically active. And once I started to see the dismantling of our democracy and how Trump has been trying to centralize his power and kind of ignore the other branches of government, which are so important for our checks and balances, that's when I started to get really fearful and started to notice little cracks being hit on in our democracy. And we're kind of being governed by tweets right now, and if you don't think that's crazy,
that's weird.
Something is real weird that our government leaders, these people we're supposed to look to in times of need and hardship, as somebody who is focused and concentrated on us as people, we can't even rely on them, and we're just getting angry tweets and threats. Our government shouldn't be threatening us.
Exactly.
They work for us.
Exactly.
We are the people, and we have the power, and we are a democracy, and all of our voices are extremely important. I think it is so important that we show up and we speak out. I can't remember who did the study. It might have been Harvard, but they've studied different coups around the world, and they've come to find that only 3.5% of the people need to rise up to stop a coup from happening.
That's it, 3.5%?
And that's 11 million people in the United States. You can fact check me.
Wow.
Somebody fact check me. So if you stand up and you ask your neighbor to stand up, you ask your family to stand up, we can come together and be united to stop this illegal, unethical coup that is destroying our country right now.
I mean, and the country wasn't always perfect, but it's like 10 years ago, everybody's doing their own thing. The trans people were fighting for their rights. They was getting them. The LGBT, they was minding their business. They was cool over there. Well, how do we get to this point? How do we get here?
I think a lot of it has been not teaching history. If you have learned history, you can see that we are on the way to an authoritarian government. It's very cut and clear. Historically, it's a cycle. It's very easy to follow the tracks of an authoritarian leader, and we are on that path. If you haven't looked up the Project 2025 tracker, search that right now, and wherever you search, they are 36% of the way through Project 2025, and the second phase of Project 2025 is not published. So they have given us their initial 900-page playbook, but there is another unpublished playbook that is going to be much worse than what we're seeing right now.
It's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah. So Project 2025 is about 900 pages long. Kamala told us it was coming. Told us over and over and over again. And she told us specifics from it. And people turned a blind eye to it. And Project 2025 is happening. You can track it. You can see what they've done so far. A lot of it has been through executive orders. And that is just dismantling our democracy. Even though we know history, if you have studied in any way, we know history. We know the civil rights movement. We know boycotts and protests work. We know we have power, and we need to put the power back in the people, and we need to empower each other to stand up together and be united.
Why do you feel like the middle class, when it comes to this, is kind of like lackadaisical? Like it's not as urgent as I feel like it should be. I feel like when I'm talking to people in my community, I'm like talking to people like getting a deaf ear. I'm like, why are y'all not more angry about this? Why are they so relaxed? And why are they not showing up to the protests the way I feel like they should, despite all this stuff going on?
I feel exactly the same. It's what they've designed to do. They've designed us to be complacent. They've been teaching us to ignore what's going on, to be okay with the status quo. They're really wanting us to be less educated than we are. When you're educated, you have power. When you have access to books, you have power. When you have access to true and factual history, you have power. And when you know that history, that's when you're mad. That's when you're angry. And if you don't know it, you haven't studied it, you just think this is okay, this is normal, because we're the frogs in boiling water. They're just taking us bit by bit, 1 degree at a time.
So what would you say to get people to come to the next protest? What would be your message?
My message would be that for us to be able to stand up to this dismantling of democracy, we all need to be involved. We all need to invite our neighbors. We need to build community. Joy is one of the most powerful ways to be resistant. I'm in my pink today, being joyful. I'm out here shouting, losing my voice. Joy is resistance. Books are resistance. Community is resistance. When we know each other, we want to stand up for each other. If you know your neighbors, your community, your school, you will stand up for each other. So get to know the people around you, invite them to join you in this, and stand up together in unity and community, and we can stop this dismantling of democracy together.
And that's what I say on my, I run a Black Man for Kamala page. I've been running for for 5 months, so I deal with the trolls and everything for 5 months every single day. But on my page, it says love is greater than hate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I think we need to get back to that, the unity. You know what I'm saying? We're all Americans, middle class. We're all in this together. I think we need to come back. And the words you just said, I think will inspire some people to do that.
Thank you. Love, not hate, makes America great. That's what we.
That's what they were saying. So yeah, y'all see it in the video. Yeah. Okay, appreciate it. That was a lot of. I didn't know you was gonna have that much for me. I appreciate that.
I'm reading all day, every day, and it really is. People are not.
All the information that you can give is
Okay. One other thing I wanted to add was that it's by design that we receive so much misinformation. They want us to be confused. They want us to not know truth from anything false. They want us to not be critical thinkers. And teaching our kids to be critical thinkers is massively important. We need the next generations to be able to decipher right from wrong, lies from truth. We are lied to constantly through the media. Our president lies directly to us. I don't know if you remember at J.D. Vance's debate, he said, "Oh, I thought we weren't going to be fact-checked." They want us to be misinformed. They want us to be confused, and they want to keep us down. But knowledge is power. We have to be critical thinkers. If something feels a little off, it might be off.
Research. That's why I tell people, like, when I'm doing my my show, my page, I'm not just posting everything. Everything is vetted and researched. I'm used to researching. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's what I did in college. You feel me? I'm a videographer, so I got to research a lot of things before I film it. So I'm used to researching. People think I may be just posting it, but no. I went and read for myself. I got the articles to back it up. So everything I put out is facts.
So you're not going to post until you know.
Exactly.
And that's what we need, is more people taking the time to ensure that people have the correct knowledge. They are misinforming us by design. And if it makes you angry, that's the point of it. They want to elicit anger in you. So if things are constantly making you angry, you might want to try something new. You might want to look elsewhere. And you should be looking for a variety of media, not just one source.
Perfect. Good information. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm still down here at the Georgia 5051 protest. I've been just basically asking people why they're down here, and you know what I'm saying, what's motivating them. So I got somebody else here. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Bridget. I'm from Marietta.
Okay, nice to meet you, Bridget. So I see you have a sign that says Elon Musk does not care about us. So what made you write that sign? Like, what are you passionate about in this moment?
None of us voted for Elon, and he is way too involved in the government, and we have not accepted that. We don't like what he's doing, and he is a Nazi.
I feel the same way. So how do you think we got in a position to even have Elon Musk have this much power? Like, how do we even get here?
Too many people supported the wrong man, Donald Trump.
And why do you think, even though he told them a lot of lies the first time, why would they just expect him to tell the truth this time? Because he really hasn't did the things. Rent is still high, groceries is still high, we're still being crushed. I got to pay a lot, you know what I'm saying, take care of my family, so does everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think people just fell for it?
I think a lot of people just have a lot of hate in their hearts, and they just wanted to see us lose more than they wanted to see what they didn't know what they were voting for. I think they're going to be let down, even if what they think they voted for doesn't happen. They're going to be let down. Everyone's going to be let down. They just want to see hate in the world, and I really hate that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to see any hate on my Kamala page I run. I put at the top love over hate. I'm trying to get us, hopefully we can get back to that. And I see you kind of young, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that's older than you out here. You being so young, like, why was you so motivated to come down? How does this really affect you so much that you was like, I got to get down here?
I think growing up, I had a lot of people around me that that I could see just didn't grow up the same way as me, and I want to advocate for them. I just like to see, I like to help others. I'm a sociology major. I hate to see the hate in the world.
Me too. And you know, I just talked to a lady somewhere over there. She was saying it only takes 3.5% of the population to rise up to stop a coup. You feel me? And that would be, like she said, 11 million people in America. That's all it would take to shut this down. Yeah. You feel me? So that's what I'm trying to do, spread the word. So what would you say to the people that's sitting at home typing on Twitter instead of coming out and really showing support, like really making signs, lending their voice? What would you say to them that's not coming out here?
I think you should get out here. It's a really great space. I mean, you feel so empowered when you're here and you're all chaining together. You feel that sense of empowerment. I know it seems like we're not together and everything's not good in the world and all you see on the news is just bad stuff, but you come here and you see everybody around you and everyone's so supportive, and it's just a really great space.
Yeah, you feel the support, you feel the love, and some people come alone and they meet people. So even if you are by yourself, you still come. You'll meet somebody. You know what I'm saying? Make a sign and join the protest. You got anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. So I'm still out here at the Georgia 5051 protest. I'm basically getting the posts of people out here, asking them what they feel, you know what I'm saying, what's their frustration. A lot of stuff going on in the world and people out here really protesting. They got their signs. So I got another person here. Let's talk to him. What's your name and where you from?
Mark Durbin. I'm here in Atlanta. My girlfriend in here, she's from Macon. We're up here to let the world know that make some more noise about this so that people are more aware of what's going on, and they need to watch something other than Fox and CNN. People need to get more educated.
Well, that's what I was right about to ask you. I was going to ask you why you're down here and exactly what are you passionate about? Like what brought you down here the most?
The most is talking with other people that are of like mind at the moment and trying to put together some message and trying to get out a message to the people that say there's a reason we are here today that's not just Trump. Trump did not make MAGA out of whole cloth.
Right.
All right. What Trump did was steal the Koch brothers' army, the Tea Party. And that Tea Party was long time built.
Right.
And come 2009, when those folks were just starting to get out in the streets, they were mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore because Wall Street was foreclosing all the families' houses.
Right.
And then those Wall Street rapists turned right around and got their bonuses that year after we had to put out nearly $1 trillion out of our funding, out of our tax dollars, to bail their asses out.
So what's your biggest gripe? Is it more of the DEI slicing or the economy not being well? Like, what's the thing that really makes you wonder, like, what's going on?
What I'm all about is about a 50-year narrative about how a handful of obsessively ambitious billionaires put together an organization to kill what was growing in the 60s and the early 70s. And their whole purpose ever since then has been to tear down the administrative state so there is nobody left with authority to tell them no. So if they want to open the back door of their factory and pour their toxic waste into the nearest body of water, even if that water is connected to the aquifer where all the drinking water comes from, they want no more administrations and regulatory agencies that can tell with teeth to tell them no. So they've started a 50-year campaign. This is more than a 50-year campaign. They want their children. They want their children to pick up where they left off, right? So that's like the Koch brothers and the other big money in the early 70s, big tobacco, big pharma, they banded together and they had a money pool that allowed them to buy Congress and buy universities by building new university centers and then teaching a form of law that was based on trying to bring religion and the state back together.
Right.
Right? Because they needed an alliance. They need those alliances in order to gather enough people to accomplish what they want to do. And they did. They ended up capturing the Supreme Court. They captured the administrative state by putting their own people in all of these agencies. They captured the Congress. They captured the Senate. Right? So we have to, at this point, do a clean sweep.
So how do we, because we're in this predicament now, how do we get it out of this? How do we get back to where America used to be? You know what I'm saying? How do we as individuals, what can we really do?
Where I come from is you can't fix a problem until you understand how it happened and what the mechanics of it and who planned it, if it's planned, and this one was planned.
And recognize it, say it out loud, you know what I'm saying? Not try to just be fake and act like it didn't happen.
Right, right, because people started waking up in the 80s after all that deregulation and saying, what the hell happened here? Me and my old lady were having to work 2 jobs and put the kids to work too, just to make ends meet. And our parents, they lived the life of the golden age of the American worker. Yeah. People retired with both Social Security and a good pension. and everybody had a boat on a trailer. And
I don't think I'm gonna have Social Security when I get older. That's a fear. I think it's gonna be already gone, and they're trying to cut it now. So I don't know.
Well, those people started getting mad in the 80s, and that made the billionaires worried. So they got more and better organized, and they put money into things like Fox News. They got people listening to Rush Limbaugh on the way back and forth to work every day, and they basically were farming grievance, a real grievance, and making it grow, which made it easier to say to everybody, look over there, that's the real enemy. You know, it's immigrants, it's this, it's that. No, it's diversionary. If you know how this all happened, you know that's not true, and you've been told to look in the wrong direction.
So what would you tell
to me, that's the beginning of fixing it.
Basically acknowledging the problem, which I feel like they haven't did a good job. So what would you say to the people to get them to come to the next protest? The people that are just sitting and watching at home, not getting out here like you, making signs and letting your voice be heard. What would you say to encourage them?
You don't have to make a sign. Just come on out. It's numbers. We get you. The more numbers in the street, the more impact it has.
Numbers.
Come on out. Join us. Sing, dance, make signs if you want to. Who cares? Just if you care, come out.
Work. Did you want to add anything?
I didn't hear everything that Mark said, but there are more of us than there are of them.
Exactly.
And like he said, vote with your feet, get out and walk, and you meet a lot of nice people. You have a good time.
There's a lot of nice people here. Even if you come by yourself, you'll find community. You come by yourself and you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And what's that saying? Poverty cannot be stopped, not because the poor cannot be fed, but because the rich cannot be satisfied. And see, the rich will just hog everything 1,000 times over, more than they need.
Even though they're not going to live long enough to spend it. They're not even going to live long enough to spend that money. They could just pay the workers. Yeah. But they rather die with it.
If you work, you should be able to live.
That's why I gotta do 2 jobs like
Yeah, and it's intentional, and they're trying to do racial stuff and make people hate each other on racial. But I don't want to give up my black friends. I want to, yeah. So I don't want to be separated and apartheided like they do in South Africa, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I will be out here anytime I can. And I appreciate you publicizing it more, and thank you.
No, appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for your message. Thanks for your history lesson, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people, including me, to know all those details you just gave. Yes. So this is going to really help, and this is going to reach a lot of people. So I appreciate that.
Man, very much.
Thanks a lot.
I feel lighter. Thank you.
For real. Sometimes you just got to get it out, man.
There you go.
I try to come to these things and let people just talk. Like, I don't want to just go off of Twitter.
So YouTube's on the card you just gave me?
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube on
I passed it to someone
I
else.
appreciate it. It's going to be on my YouTube on Sunday.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah. Outstanding.
Yeah, you can check it out. I'm going to add captions to it.
We'll bounce it around Blue Sky and
Thank
places.
you, sir.
Yeah, if you share it, we can get more people to the next protest.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be at every single protest. So if you see me, if you want to say something, just let me know.
The Game Changer. They deliver snacks, groceries,
What up,
alcohol,
bro? You already know I'm headed to another protest.
Straight to your door in just 15
Feel me?
minutes. And get this, it's cheaper in the store because
I hate when somebody see your signal and then still want to just speed
no
up. Like,
middleman,
bruh.
no crazy markups. It's like Amazon, but for everyday essentials and way faster.
Look at you, just right there.
Also
About to
just
get hit by a
launched
different car.
cheapest on the planet pricing. Think
But,
$2
my bad.
organic eggs, $2 milk, $5
Trying to be the change,
$10
man. You
Tide
can't just sit
Pods.
around complaining.
It's insane. They're beating big grocery
Things
stores.
you don't like,
with their own
something you don't
game.
like in the
So
store, man. You got to
do yourself a
get out there and try to
favor,
change it,
download the
man.
GoPuff
Things
app
can't be
on your
changed.
phone. Use the code
I'm used to fighting
ROBIN20
for things.
for
Like
$20
everything I
off
have,
your
I
order
have to fight
and
tooth and nail to
experience
get.
faster, cheaper, better shopping. Trust
Feel
me,
me? Nothing
you'll
was
thank you
easy.
later.
Nothing was handed to me. I had to get every single thing out the mud, so I'm used to fighting. GA 5051 is doing a wonderful job organizing these protests. And yeah, we got to support it.
My name is Cody, pronounced politics.